The arrival, hey. So good. I was just laying down. Still haven't fallen asleep yet, but it's all good.
Close. Mike's made it safely.
Well, you guys made it.
Yeah, we're good.
So that's.
It went by quicker than.
How long was it?
After we hit Vegas, 5 hours. Like trying to knock.
Oh, 5? That's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah, it was like
I drove more than that yesterday.
We left Lancaster at 7.
Alright, D-Man, a year later, where are we headed?
We're going to San Hollow. We're gonna swimming. Yeah, we're excited to go. Year number 3, year number 2 for Bert. This is the last one, man.
Yeah, the last hurrah. Bert, how much more prepared are you this year than last year?
I'm way more prepared. I'm not a newbie compared to last year.
So you think the last edition of St. George will be the best edition?
100%. Way better shape. Had a way better training plan, way better taper.
What about nutrition?
Yeah, nutrition. Like I said, last year I didn't really know what I was doing. Just kind of going off, what Bean was telling me, what I was like learning. But you really do learn as you go. So after Texas, I think I mastered the nutrition, and I think the taper was really good this time around compared to last year. I remember I was telling D-Man on the way here. I remember last year when I started the taper, my last long run was a half marathon. I was like, why the hell would why would I do that?
It's pretty funny what we do in training sometimes. I don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Hello. Oh, we're trying. Yeah, just for the day.
Are you training for the Ironman?
Yeah, we're all signed up for the event.
Okay, then you're good.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Have a good one.
Thanks, love.
You're welcome, guys.
Yeah, thanks, D-Man. Clutch.
Talking to you.
Yeah. We're hitting this practice swim.
Get it. Let's go.
D-Man still rocking the suit holding up.
It's the best one. Sick.
Bert got his suit, fits a little better this year. A little more freedom in those shoulders. Are you rocking your Texas cap?
Yes, sir. Never got some worry, so.
Yeah, it's brand new. Alright, Bert, predictions for Saturday.
I know last year, I guess, like on the dot what I got.
You did, you're like, let's be ambitious, 45, and then you swam exactly 45.
I want to go for, I think I can do 38.
7 minutes that's impressive. D-Man, your PR on this course is for swim?
59.
59, so ambitions are 50.
Run 55, 50. I can do 50.
That'd be a good start to the day. You plan on checking your watch during the race or no?
Yeah, just in case I need to check my pace.
Like at the turnaround?
Yeah, it's fine. There's no time to stop.
Not as bad as I thought it would. Like, I always feel like my shoulders feel super restricted, and I didn't feel that way. So
It's good.
I definitely, it feels aerobically intense. Like, I don't know why it's different than the pool in that way, but like,
My breathing's weird in the open water. It's a little different.
breathing's weird, but I also feel like my right arm, like,
Yeah, it
collapses
doesn't-
a little bit more. I don't know. So what made you choose St. George this year being the last edition?
Because it was the last edition, I wanted to make sure that I got it in under my belt. This one has scared me for a few years, and finally decided I have to do it.
So what other, have you done a race that's similar in profile to this with this much climbing?
A non-Ironman branded race I did, yes. Ironman Oceanside, the bike was probably comparable. Not a sustained climb going up Snow Canyon though.
Why do you think this race is going away?
The scuttlebutt I got is locals are just tired of it being here. So
yeah, do you think that this race finds a new home, possibly down the road in Cedar City in the future?
That would be awesome if it does end up there. You know, this is a good venue. The town is nice. You know, I've watched the races, you know, online, and man, it looks different in person.
Yeah, it's I've done a lot of these, and like this is to me always the best one. It's a spectacle. The town really gets behind it.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think you're in for an awesome one on Saturday.
It's crazy. So, yeah.
Well, good luck on Saturday.
Thanks.
So is this your, like, how many times have you done this race? Like,
Well, this is my first time as a relay. I did it the last 2 years by myself, but I didn't get the go-ahead this year, so I had to do a relay.
so why, like,
I had brain surgery in December.
one, I guess, what draws you to this race? Like,
Oh, I love St. George so much. And St. George Ironman was my first triathlon I ever did. I decided I wanted to try it, and so I jumped for a 70.
so I guess, do you see it as a major loss that this race is going away?
I think it'll definitely come back. I think most of the people around really love it. I mean, you're going to have a few of the people that are inconvenienced by the one day, but overall, I think the community likes it, and it's such a fun, like, atmosphere on race day. All the community that comes out and just cheers you on, and it's awesome.
All right, Bert, where are we headed?
Want to go check in. Want to get our bib numbers, our stickers, our backpack, our shirt. D-Man eats salt, as usual.
Ironman Pro Series.
Oh,
Final edition.
You get a belt. I got my belt at home.
As a past champion, multiple-time winner, what would it mean to you to win the final edition of St. George on Saturday?
Yeah, obviously, I think if I can win the final edition, it's going to cement me as kind of the king of St. George, you know, and really make my mark on the course. And so I hope to do that. But even beyond that, I've just had so many big memories here, great memories. I feel like I've grown up here. I came here when I was like, I don't know, I was 18 years old or something, 19 years old. And now I'm bringing my own kid here and showing him the sights. And yeah, I get a little emotional with it being the last one, because it's really made my career, and I just have so many good memories here. And I know I share that with everyone as well.
As a North American athlete, what does it mean to lose like such a staple in the North American race calendar?
Yeah, honestly, I don't know what Ironman's, how they're going to replace this, because it's the North American Championships, and I feel like the North American Champs needs to have a course that earns that and lives up to that. And I think they maybe have to find a new course, because like a new venue, because any of the other courses I don't think could fill this place. It's a one-of-a-kind race, and yeah, I mean,
Would you consider this one of the most honest courses out there on the circuit?
I mean, honestly, I think that's why I do so well here every year, is because it's so honest, right? Like, I think there's no hiding, and I like to believe every year the fittest person wins this race, and that's a beautiful thing for me.
On Saturday, would you prefer to win it 5 minutes flat, or with a battle with somebody?
I mean, it's always a battle, even if you win by a big margin, you know. it's going to take a lot to win by 5 minutes, but I expect it to be pretty close, I'd say.
And last question: how many teeth on the big ring?
This year I have 64.
Wow, that is impressive.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, and good luck on Saturday. Man.
Yeah, and there's no little ring either. It's just a 64. Yeah.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
good luck, man.
Hey, cheers.
So many educational videos now on, like, if you're a pro athlete and you're struggling at 70.3 and you're not able to make it through with nutrition, it's not good. I mean, I understand an Ironman, you got an 8-hour day, but in a
Let's just make sure you drink enough electrolytes today.
Yeah.
Today,
Remember the caffeinated we were
so dumb.
We started sipping caffeine at 10 in the morning. We're on
10 in the morning, and then like still sipping while we were preparing drinks at like 10.
Caffeine.
Yeah.
They look exactly the drinks. Like one has a black top.
Yeah, it literally like it just says like what plus energy or whatever on the bottom.
Like shit.
Yeah, D-Man, where are we headed?
We're on the way to drop off our run bags in T2. Just waiting for all these cars to pass. We're a little bit of a rush, but it wouldn't be St. George if we're not rushing a little bit.
We had too easy of a day yesterday,
Yeah.
I guess.
But we're watching Survivor, like, time runs quick.
All right, Bert, checklist for your bike bag. What do you got?
My bike bag or my run bag?
Run bag, sorry.
So compared to D-Man and Bean, I ride with socks on, so I don't have no socks in my bag. So I'm gonna put them on for the bike. I got my hat, my salt tabs, my shoes, my bib, and since it's so hot out, we have to drop off our nutrition in our bags right now instead of tomorrow morning. We decided to put our gels and our gummies in a hydro filled with ice.
Great idea,
So
Bert.
tomorrow we can dump the ice onto our head, get the gels nice and cold, and take them on not super hot.
And yeah,
That's about it.
All right, let's hit T2 right now.
Yep.
Just look at that line to get in. I don't think that's it.
Like to get in?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but I don't think that's us. I think we go one more, right?
Don't they send us somewhere else?
Yeah, there's a sign. Shouldn't there be a sign?
The bike drop off? Yeah. I don't think it's that way.
Oh, wait, hold on. What's there's like I think there's an Ironman sign up here.
said bike drop off.
Oh, hold on. What's this say? Ironman bike check-in. Continue. Okay, 3 miles.
Okay, yeah.
How many times have you done this race? Is this your first time?
First race.
First race?
No, first race St. George.
Oh, first race to St. George. Okay.
Also first race to St. George.
So what drew you to this race then? Just it being the last one, or just the difficulty of the course?
A little bit of both. I think the bike is going to be super fun. And when I heard it was the last one, like I had to get a spot.
I would say for me, yeah, last race, St. George, can't miss it. And I'm probably last 2 races, I've been just short of the podium, so I'm trying to get on the podium tomorrow.
Okay, so what's the I guess, yeah, what your expectation is podium then tomorrow? Is that the
Expectation to be on the podium tomorrow.
And the splits that achieve that would be?
I'm gonna have to do, for me, I'm not a good swimmer, so probably around 31, 32 minutes. I got a bike at 220 or less, and run 120, 119, 120.
Respectable. What about you?
I'm just going to race hard tomorrow, see where it kind of spits me out.
Hopefully we swim together.
I know, yeah, hopefully we swim together. But conditions are going to be a little harsher than normal tomorrow apparently, so just going to race within ourselves but push the limit and see where it finishes. So I got some kind of some times in my head, but I've never raced this course, so I don't really know. I've just been peeking at people's times over the years, so I mean hopefully top 20.
So compared to other venues, how have you felt the atmosphere of the town and everything? Does it carry that special vibe that people talk about?
The atmosphere for sure carries. I mean, the town's unbelievable. I mean, it's hot, but you're in this awesome desert vibe.
I can't believe it's going away. There's murals in the city. There's a statue in the city. How could it be leaving St. George? I mean, look at the range out here. It's pretty crazy out here.
Yeah.
If I would have known you could pull a camper up here, I would have stayed here. Not next year, but it's going to come back.
Yeah, when it does come back, right?
I'm going to pull
and when it comes back, it's going to have to be a world championship race.
Yeah. No,
but we went in the water this morning. Water was super nice. It felt amazing. So hopefully it feels like that every race.
All right, well, best of luck to both of you tomorrow.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
How you doing? I'm feeling good. Already?
Bro, we have a...
Dude, you look good.
argument right now.
Look good, bro.
They say was it not hard to find or something up there?
Good.
Something like that.
Hey! What's up?
What's going on? D-Man's outside, so we can just...
Outside, alright. How are you guys?
Good. We're alive.
Hi, how are you doing? Thank you. Have a great one.
It's if they were there, they would make us walk.
Hey, remember the old days at the Quality Inn?
Yeah. Are you guys still there?
No, we're across town. All right, Albert, you wanna pitch this? Victoria, get ready for the most nonsense you've ever heard.
We can pick anyone we want from staff, right?
Anyone?
Bean, right? This is our
Yeah, anybody on Camp New Heights staff.
Camp New Heights staff all time.
Yeah.
We make a relay team, right?
Yeah.
For Ironman?
Yeah. And Bean says that we can't beat him with the relay team.
What? Him against
Dude,
that is so possible. Hold on, Bean. What are you talking about?
So
Possible. I mean, it's also possible that an asteroid comes down and hits us right now. Possible, but probability very low.
No. So this is the plan, right?
Oh my goodness.
You swim, you start training, and Bean doesn't understand this. He thinks.
Do we get a year?
If anybody who understands this, I understand this probably best.
Okay, so you start training. You have 5 months block. You start training for the
5
swim.
months?
Just the swim.
Just
the
the swim?
swim. No running, no biking. Just the swim.
Game over.
Okay? I do
That's
the bike.
that's 30 minutes in advance right there.
I do the bike.
Advantage.
I do the bike. D-Man does the run. Or we can switch off the bike and the run between me and D-Man.
But wait, what course are we doing? Because we gotta choose a course. We gotta choose a course to do this, huh?
I think D-Man has to bike in order for me to do the run.
Dig it with water, it kind of upset your stomach. Look at that cinematic masterpiece. It's like Terrence Malick. The tree of life. The thin red line. The thin red funnel. Oof. Beautiful. I hope that was 2 screws and not the third.
Yeah. Nothing, bro. I'm just chilling. I'm just a survivor, bro. Geronimo got a big day tomorrow. Stand out in the heat.
Locked in?
Locked in.
Hey, where are the markers at?
For what?
I gave you for the dip.
D-Man used them. I didn't.
Right in the cabinet. To my right.
D-Man, show me how this. What you got right here, D-Man? What is this? What is
This is I got some scratch going. Got some electrolyte water. This has I got 20 grams of carbs, and then I got the electrolytes. That's
sodium. 400 grams of sodium too.
Magnesium, sodium.
Nice.
Okay,
that's pretty good. I didn't know this thing had a lot of sodium.
Scratch is like the whole premise.
No.
Oh, so Adrian Brody was supposed to be the lead of that movie.
I love Adrian.
And Terrence Malick, who made that movie, cut him out.
Why?
He went on a whole press tour about how he's the star of this movie. His total screen time is 2 minutes.
Aww.
Like, how embarrassing.
Well, that's their second scoop.
You only did one scoop?
Watch this.
Oh, I was gonna say, you did one scoop, you're not gonna taste it.
You ready for two?
Yeah.
You need another one, right?
Huh? Yeah, dude.
Let's see, let's see.
Oh, wait, hold on. I gotta get the. Nah. It's gonna blow up.
What happens to this fridge?
Bean got mad.
Did you see this? What happens to this fridge? I know this thing came, but I didn't see it.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what's the deal there. Like, somebody shot some pellets in there. I didn't tell you about my brother's Motel 6 experience. He visited me in DC and stayed at a Motel 6. He went to lay down on the bed, and there's some dude's tooth.
That's insane. These stories keep getting worse and worse. Like the motel.
Somebody lost a tooth.
What's going on here, B?
So you do this to open your nostril, to let it.
Gross.
What? It's kind of.
With 2 pills inside?
You want to be able to breathe.
That's hella extra.
Do you have one more of these living vials I can put?
You should eat one tomorrow.
Just to be safe.
Tropical flavor.
It's nasty.
It's always a decent idea to carry one more than you need.
Yeah, in case I drop one or
something. I was gonna say, I've dropped so many things over the years. I just don't want to get.
This is the magic right here.
Oh.
Not what Bean's taking. That's a different pill.
That's a different pill.
Alright, Bert, what are we doing?
Want to shave our legs.
Look at them gams.
See some watts on the bike.
Yeah, there you go. Dude, there is.
All right, Albert, this is your second time racing St. George. Also, your last time. What are your thoughts on what this place means to you, and I guess what it means to the triathlon community?
It was my first ever, Ironman here. I think it sucks that it's the last one here. Just doing Texas and comparing that to St. George from last year. Two completely different races, but this race is just super more well supported, and more people look forward to this race, I would say, than a lot of the other races. It was cool being here last year, and it's cool to be here again this year. To be quite frankly honest, I didn't know if I was going to do this race this year. I knew for sure I wanted to do Texas, but this was the last race, and D-Man was like, I'm gonna do the last race, man. We gotta do it with Bean. It's the last ever one. There was no other choice but to hop on and do the last one with everybody.
I feel pretty good. I'm sad that it's the last race. This is where it all started, 2022. I didn't really know what I was getting myself into, but now that it's all come full circle, third time's a charm, and I hope that I can execute a good race and just try to live in the moment. I feel like we're never going to get this race again. Hopefully we do in the future, but as of right now, there is no race, and I want to just appreciate every second.
I look forward to this pretty much every year. So yeah, I'm really excited to be here and spend this time with you guys, and and to be part of the last one, I think is pretty special. So I love this course. I love this town. I think I love pretty much everything about this race, even though it's pretty punishing. So yeah, I'm really excited to be back.
So what was your reaction when you got that text in the group chat with just the image of it being the last race, the announcement from the St. George community?
I think when I got the message, I wasn't signed up yet. So I was like, damn, like it's the last one, like I have to sign up. And also I knew like a lot of pros were gonna probably show up to the race because it was the last one. So that's cool also, like to see everyone, but it also just sucks that it's the last one because I'm so new to the sport. Like I'm super new to the sport and I'm just getting started doing the sport. And it sucks that this is like the last ever one here. I only got to do 2 of them.
It was, well, yeah, January, February hit around, and I was like, I don't even know if I'm going to race this year. And then he told me, I think that was mid-January when it was the last one. Once I saw that, I was like, there's kind of no reason for me not to. This is the last one. This is the first one I ever did. I feel like last year was kind of a letdown because of everything that happened during the race and the build-up for that. So I was like, screw it. Like, I got a few months. Maybe I can make a good little training block and just enjoy the last race, the last ever one.
This was the race that kind of birthed like a deeper meaning of like what it meant to like train and prepare for a race. The first time I did it in 2018, I feel like I got exposed in a lot of ways where it was like my nutrition wasn't right and like, oh my goodness, these descents are so technical and everything like that. And so it became more about just like, I can't just show up and raw fitness my way through this. Like there's definitely a lot more sort of training to the terrain of the race. And I think this race showed me that. And I've been chasing that feeling ever since, is like, this is the race that truly is the most challenging I've ever done. And I say that even compared to the full I did in Texas. Like I really think that this one still tests you in a way that no other race does.
What makes this race special?
I think the fact that it's so hard makes it special. And I don't know, it's just like you come here and like the town knows you're racing. Like everyone is ready for the race. It's not just like a small group of people racing and no one cares. Like the town is ready for you to come. It's ready for you to race. It's a really nice feeling. It's cool like being somewhere where you like, oh yeah, like I belong with this group of people. Like I know I'm gonna compete with them, and it's just nice being a part of something that not a lot of people get to do or are a part of it yet. Yeah.
I think it was when I first signed up, I never thought I would do something like this. And the feeling you get when you cross finish line, the feeling you get when you work so hard for something and you finally achieve it, I was like, I got to do it. You know, that's what makes this race special. Like the city comes out for it, like the view that we're looking at right now. You know, I got my family coming out. I got like my friends with me. Like this is going to be an amazing day, an amazing race. And it's something that I'm not, if I would have not come, it would be the biggest regret I've ever made. So I'm just happy that we're all here, we're all safe and healthy and just ready to give it our all.
Kind of devastated because I just don't know what can replace this, especially given the difficulty of the course and something that's irreplaceable, which is that environment of the community. This community comes out unlike any other community, and that's not something that you can just relocate to a different town and say, oh, it'll be just as good. Like there's something very unique about this place and sort of the vibe and culture that comes with race week and then race day. race morning, on your way to T1, what was going through your head?
I didn't get the greatest sleep the night before. I honestly wasn't thinking a lot. I was listening to music on the whole bus ride, so I was pretty locked in, just focused on the race. Just going through the motions in my head of swimming, biking, and running. I was just worried about my bike the most because the aero bars we installed, they weren't super sturdy, so I don't know if they were gonna hold up. But overall, I felt pretty confident. I didn't realize yet how long of a day I was gonna have out there.
Race morning, I think I got like 3 to 4 hours of sleep, so pretty good for those terms. I was listening to music on the bus. I was mentally thinking about how the race was going to go, my plan, my strategy for the day, and just trying to get in that right mindset. And just trying to get in a good headspace for the race.
Race morning, I didn't sleep at all the night before, so that wasn't great. I think Daniel, Albert, and I were in pretty good spirits, kind of joking around, so I don't think any of us were necessarily anxious, so that was cool. Just go through the motions, make sure we had the bags, and then head out to get ready to catch the bus. And this year I didn't feel horrible on the bus ride, so that was a plus. So I kind of just put the window down, took in the sights as we went to the reservoir, and yeah, it was kind of an easy morning. Tell me about the swim.
So the swim, me and Bean were trying to get to the front towards like where we thought our estimated time was to swim. We're trying to get to the 35-minute group, but we couldn't get to the front anywhere past 45-minute group, so we're kind of stuck there. The race started at 7. Me and Bean sat out there until 7:45, and the sun was just beaming on us. So before we even got to the water, we were already sweating, felt dehydrated. We were just getting cooked out there because it was so hot because the sun was coming up and we were just in our wetsuits. So before we even got into the water, I was already hot, so I was ready to get into that cold water.
Swim-wise, I think I swim maybe like 30 seconds faster, like a minute faster than last year. So, that's just, I need to put more work into the pool. I need to fix my technique for sure. There wasn't really a lot of people to draft off of. Like, I found myself swimming alone for quite a long time, but overall, I think it was just like right at an hour, right under an hour. So I guess I can't complain that much. So I just got to work more on my swim.
So for the swim, we took normal time in T1, and then once we got our wetsuits on and everything, we tried to make our way into the sort of sub 35-minute group for the swim, Albert and I, and it was just log jammed. We weren't able to get in there. So we got stuck in like the 45-minute group or like 43 to 46-minute group. And we ended up waiting 40 plus minutes in that area, just kind of baking in the sun. And I could feel myself getting really thirsty. And at one point, someone from the VIP tent was like handing out water, and we were like waterfalling it all around all the athletes. But then it was another like 20 minutes from that point until we were close to the entrance. And then a woman in front of me just put her water bottle down, so I drank that. So I felt like I was dehydrated before we even started the swim. But once we got in the swim, I remained patient in the beginning. I think I just took a bunch of bad lines. So I don't think I necessarily swam bad. I think I just didn't swim the correct course to maximize that time. So my swim time is not what I wanted. But overall, I'm not that upset because I think my technique and things were actually pretty good. So not super upset about the swim. I still thought to myself, okay, like this is one thing. We still got the bike in the run. We can still have a good day after this. How'd the bike go?
Well, I started off pretty good. I felt pretty good getting out of the reservoir. But it was just so hot, like incredibly hot. My mouth was so dry, and I was just trying to drink liquid. I was trying to eat all my food. The bike was so hard. I mean, I already knew Snow Canyon was coming. I knew all the hills. Like, it's not my first time doing the course. So I knew everything was coming, but I just couldn't put down any power on the bike. Like I was trying to give, but I don't know what it was. I couldn't put any power down. And then my aero bar started moving, so which kind of sucked.
Going into the bike, I think the first like 10 miles were perfect. Like I was averaging 17, 18 miles per hour for me, which is pretty good. I was in the aero bars. I was putting in some good power. I was eating nutrition. Like I was taking my fig bars, taking my gels, doing everything by the minute, so which is good. And then yeah, like around mile 12.8, 12.9, I started to feel like something going on with my front tire, and I looked down, and sure enough, it's a flat tire. So I remember last year when I got my flat, I panicked. I thought my race is over. I was mile 25, so it was later on, and I was like, yeah, my race is done. So this year I told myself if that were to happen, not to panic. I got my flat kit. So pulled over to the road, side of the road, make sure it was safe, flipped the bike over, started changing it. And then once I put the tube in and I got the tire back on, it was like, shit, I don't have a pump. Sorry about that. I don't have a bike pump. And I was like, dang. So I was kind of just trying to wave athletes in. And I think in total from the time I pulled over to the time I got back on the road, which I think it was like 28, 29 minutes. So that wasn't good. And the rest of the bike was just kind of just battling, trying to beat the cutoff time because I was 30 minutes down. I started to cramp up mile 35 because of the heat. Clearly I need to take way more electrolytes next year, and I took a lot this year, but it just wasn't enough. My quads are just cramping up the whole time. And yeah, I got to the transition after a hard, long bike ride, putting my run shoes on, and they said, hey, you didn't make the cutoff time for the bike. Which was like, yeah, it was heartbreaking. You know, I put in so much energy just to get there, and to have it taken away from me over, 4 minutes, when in reality, that flat tire took away 30. So I guess it's just my luck. St. George's wasn't giving me a good cards to be dealt with, and, it sucks it's the last one, but there's gonna be more races in the future.
The bike, I just, much like I told Albert and D-Man, just be patient, let the race come to you. And I thought the same thing, where it was like, all right, I'm waiting for the race to come to me. And mile 10, race still hasn't come to me. Mile 20, this race still hasn't come to me. And every hill we climbed, I feel like I was just putting myself in the lowest gear and kind of surviving it, not pushing anything. And that's a rough place to be. And I could see my averages on my bike computer. I knew I was doing much worse than the previous years, which is, again, you're trying to stay in a good headspace, and that was really hard to do. And I had nothing to push all day, no power. I threw up a couple times on the bike, so that was like kind of an omen that things weren't going my way. The approach to Snow Canyon, I think, was the only place I probably pushed. And even so, I probably only made up, 0.4 on my average miles per hour during that period. Getting to Snow Canyon, very much survival mode, especially as we got towards the top. It was hot, there was no wind, the sweat was like pouring down my helmet. Luckily, there was a lot of people around, so it felt like we were all in it together, like this Sufferfest was kind of happening, and we reached the one point where it's 12% grade, and there were like these guys who were grunting and things, and luckily there was a guy who was like right behind me who was like, we've reached the apex, and so like everybody cheered that, like that was kind of the hardest part, and that we were almost at the guard shack. So yeah, it was, the bike was nothing to write home about, the descent was whatever, but I still in my mind thought, you know what, let's have a great run. Like maybe I can make something out of this and still salvage like a good run to save the day.
Coming off the bike into the run, how are you feeling about kind of finishing off the race?
I was in a good headspace coming out the bike. I biked an alright time, not what I wanted, but my foot was hurting, my right foot was hurting really bad. I don't know if my feet just swelled up because of the heat. My legs felt alright, like my legs were pretty good. Mile 1 was pretty good of the run, but I think like the the aid station is just so far apart from the beginning, from the first mile to the next one, which was kind of tough. So like that second mile, I literally had to walk quite a bit, just because I literally felt like I wanted to give up. Like, to be completely honest, I was like, I can't do this. Like, my right foot is killing me. Every step I take, it hurts. Like, I need to walk. Like, I was like, there's no point. I was like, I just should give up. Like, I should just, get out of the race and just call it a day. But once I got to the transition up the church, iced on the hat, iced on the back, Coke, kind of gathered myself, and it's running downhill. So I was like, I gotta finish. Like, there's no way I'm not gonna finish. So it's kind of more of just trying to survive the run and finish the race, more than trying to hit a time goal at that point.
Got into transition, did the barefoot dismount, the chip seal that's in that parking lot was really hard on my feet. Took a gel, popped it quick in transition, put my shoes on, put my hat on, and was like, all right, let's knock this thing out. And I took off. I probably was doing 650 down Tabernacle. As soon as I took that turn up the rotary, that pace slowed significantly. And that first aid station is like 1.5 miles away, so I was cooking the whole time. I got to the first aid station. I knew my time was not great, but I was like, I'm gonna fuel up right now. I'm gonna dunk my head. I'm gonna get some ice. So I started onto the second loop. By the time I hit the second aid station, I knew that run was all survival. So mile 2, with 11 miles remaining, I knew I'm gonna have to suffer greatly to get through this thing. And that's what it was. I tried to compartmentalize it into just sections. And I thought once I was on lap 2, I said, like, all right, it's just one more of what I just did. And it was actually Victoria that motivated me along. I asked her sort of near the end of the first lap, I said, where's Albert? And she said, he's behind you. And I said, but where? And she said, I don't know. So I came back around, did a loop up, and I saw Victoria about 1 mile later. And I said, where's Albert? And she said, he's at mile 62. And I was at mile 63 and a half. And in my mind, Albert, looked like Patrick Lang and was great in like perfect running form and was running 750. So I was like, Albert is hunting me down right now. Like, I am the prey in this situation. So I kind of did the math of like, what time could I lose and still beat him? And I just kept pushing to try and be able to sort of stave him off. And then on the way back into town, I saw him on the way out and realized I had about a 4-mile lead on him, which then became really hard to mentally push myself to the end. But it was also that, once you can kind of hear the finish line, it kind of brings you there. But yeah, it was a rough day on all 3 of them, and the run was the roughest of all 3. Having that DNF, not making the cutoff, does that make you more inspired to come back and do another one so that you can get one on the books that's sort of a makeup?
I think it's the feeling I got when they said I DNF'd, and it's kind of just like fuel the fire in me, but it's also going to make, when I eventually do another one, when I cross the finish line, it's going to make that feeling so much better. It's a really bad feeling, like for all the athletes that DNF'd yesterday, and there was a ton. Like, it sucks, all that hard work you put in, it's kind of just all down the drain. It was the last ever one too. So yeah, when I get back home and we eventually find out what race we're doing next, I'm definitely going to use it as fuel. I'm going to put that DNF sticker somewhere on my wall so I can just look at it, just remember how that made me feel.
What do you think about the town canceling this race?
Honestly, big mistake. I feel like St. George has a reputation of being like the hardest Ironman race out there, and I feel like most pro athletes or athletes who do the Ironman have something to prove, and they're like, okay, well, if I do the Ironman, I want to do the hardest Ironman. I want to show that I can do the Ironman. Yeah, it's a 70.3, but at the end of the day, it is an Ironman, and you're still putting your body through all that work, and it's just like honestly, like, like it being the last one, I know there were some heartbreaks, especially like Bean, D-Man, Albert, that they all didn't feel like right with their race, and it being the last one does suck, because it's like oh, I wanna conquer St. George, but that's the last one, and I would fell short. But there are other Ironmans they can do, but it just won't be the same because it's like St. George is like the Ironman, you know. So it's where it first started, D-Man's first Ironman, my first time spectating, and it's just like, it's honestly, I feel sad about it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a bummer, especially because it's such a beautiful place, and like I had mentioned before, like I know St. George is very unique in itself, not just, you know, literally like physically with just nature being so pretty, but also like the people. So I think overall, like Ironman will be losing a very nice spot, a very nice town that really helps capture that Ironman feeling of like belonging and really like effort and everything. So definitely like St. George will be missed, and yeah, so come back.
I've raced St. George 5 times now. 3 times with Daniel, twice with Albert, and twice alone. The experience of St. George is irreplaceable, but in my 5 experiences, I've learned that St. George is special for more than the red rocks and the difficulty of the course. St. George shines because of the people who come out to support it. Ultimately, the town simply doesn't want this race anymore, and I'm at peace with that. I'll always hold the memories near and dear to my heart, but perhaps there's more to racing than just the people who support St. George. More than the people that line the streets are those who stayed in the Days Inn in room 458. Albert, Daniel, Victoria, and Geronimo elevated St. George to a level that made me mark it on my calendar every year. While St. George sees its torch snuffed for the final time, the races we conquer as a friend group have no end in sight.
My, it's a beautiful world. I like swimming in the sea. I like to go out beyond the wide breakers, where a man can still be free, or a woman if you are one. I like swimming in the sea. My, it's a beautiful world. I like drinking Irish tea with a little bit of lapsang souchong. I like making my own tea. My, it's a beautiful world. I like driving in my car. I roll the top down, sometimes I travel quite far. Drive to the ocean, stare up at the stars. I like driving in my car. All around is anger, automatic guns. It's death in large numbers, no respect for women around little ones. I tried talking to Jesus, but he just put me on hold. Said he'd been swamped by calls this week and he could not shake his cold. And still this emptiness persists. Perhaps this is as good as it gets. When you've given up the drink and those nasty cigarettes. Now leave the party early, at least with no regrets. I watch the sun as it comes up, I watch it as it sets. Yeah, this is as good as it gets. Oh my, it's a beautiful world. I like like sleeping with Marie. She is one sexy girl, full of mystery. She says she doesn't love me, but she likes my company. For now, that's good enough for me. Oh my, 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 it's a beautiful world. I like swimming in the sea. I like to go out beyond the white breakers. Where a man.
This is the place where I got to race with both of you. And both of your first times to do races. And like, I don't know how you, like, if you understand how special that is to me. I'm forever grateful for both of you taking that leap of faith and joining me in this. And obviously Albert's joined me at Texas now, and I know that we're gonna do something else next year in place of this. But like, I really wanna just savor Saturday and know that we're all on this course and that we all get to do it one more time. But I owe a huge debt of gratitude to both of you for taking that leap of faith and signing up for something that's billed as the hardest one of these. Trust me, it'll be great. So thank you guys so much for doing that with me.
Who's the best Survivor player?
Gotta be my boy Tony, man. Gotta be Tony, man. He's the GOAT.
Are you the Tony Velachos of Camp New Heights?
Yes. I'm built the underground bunker. I'm built the base in the tree. Everything.
Gonna be in the AC room.
The spike.
Geronimo, who's the best Survivor player?
Tony is my boy. He's my boy for real. He's crazy smart. Like, he would think of plays that I wouldn't even think. I'm like, bro, why doesn't he do that? And he like minutes later he explains his whole thought process. I'm like, yeah, just give this man the 2 mil. Just give this man the 2 mil. But yeah, Tony, bro.
D-Man, who's the best Survivor player?
Yeah, we'll make a case for D-Nice. Nah, I'm just it's definitely Tony. He had the best game. He liked social part and the physical part. He's a well-rounded player. So.
Who's the best Survivor player?
Who's the best what?
Survivor player.
Like in like the show?
The show, yeah.
Tony.
Yeah.